What's going on? This is Patrick from High Shield, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about levels of energy and conscious work. A lot of this comes from the work of David R. Hawkins and Frederick Dodson. They talk about different energy levels, and this is the scale of consciousness or scale of energy. Why do you need to know the scale of consciousness and the scale of energy? Simply, you need to know this so that you can communicate better with other people and have more influence. My channel's filled with the two goals of enhancing your communication and enhancing your intention. What I have here, is foundational in improving upon these two things. So I'm going to go through all these in this session so you guys can understand which each of these states of consciousness means for you and your ability to expand your own consciousness and expand your energy. When you work on your energy, when you work on your consciousness, and when you work on yourself, you end up seeing your life become much more different, much more expanded, and sometimes much more fulfilling. I started studying this stuff probably about 5 years ago, and I've seen tremendous results of it, and I still do to this day, as I continue to improve on my own consciousness. So to get started with everything, you see that it is very conal in shape, upside down. This illustrates, as you would see, the expansiveness of awareness. So the higher up you end up moving, the more your consciousness ends up expanding. When your consciousness expands, you end up seeing life in more detail. You see thoughts as more revealing, and you develop a sense of appreciation or a sense of drawing forth of your very life. So each of these shows the levels to which you experience life. At the very beginning, you see shame. Ironically enough, shame is at the bottom, but it basically shows itself as the fundamental foundation and base of consciousness. As I do this video, I'm going to explain each of these steps and what that means for you in enhancing your own intention and enhancing your overall consciousness. Before I get started, I'm going to draw your attention to Neuro-Linguistic Programming. They have a technique and a way of looking at language patterns, looking at intention, focus, and physiology and energy. I'm going to show this right here as I draw it for you so you can understand exactly what's happening when we look at the expanse of consciousness. So number one we have here is focus. Focus is where you are directing yourself from the state of focus. What you tend to focus on is what the scale of consciousness is going to show. Likewise, in a lot of NLP, we have this right here, which is called energy. Your energy is another thing, because you can focus your energy. How does your energy move? Well, it can expand and it can move very high. What you tend to focus on shows itself at what level you operate on. And the last part is language. This is the language to represent what you're feeling and what you're focusing on in the world. So together you have focus, energy, and language. What does this look like? If I'm at a certain level, there's going to be an energy in how I carry myself. A prime example would be if you're saying happiness is nowhere versus happiness is now here. There's a different channel of energy when you say the same exact thing. And people show the focus, they write it down, and they do it as a hashtag, right? Hashtag So we have hashtag happiness is now here. Depending on your focus and your energy, you're going to look at this word. This is just the language pattern. If we focus on negativity, we're going to see a negative look. Happiness is nowhere. Say we operate at a higher level, we're going to focus and have expansive energy and say, happiness is now here. And it's a little bit of an excitement that, yes, it's here, right? It's not nowhere, right? So when we look at those changes, we can sense what somebody is focusing on. We can feel and intuit their energy. Then we have language. So we can have the same kind of a thing all at once. We're using the same language, but these guys are completely different. That's what we're going to look at when we look at the scale of consciousness.